like there's gotta be someone who's made some kind of like beat out of the hoe sound. 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 I feel like there's gotta be someone beat out of the hoe sound. Beat out of the hoe sound. Beat out of the hoe sound. There's gotta be someone beat out of the hoe sound. Beat out of the hoe sound. Beat out of the hoe sound. I feel like there's gotta be someone who's made some kind of like beat.
Hello, Chaos First Nerd. I got everything all ready. I was rushing maybe a little bit to get here on time because I actually have a commitment this evening, so I only have a few hours for streaming. My current divination is that it's offline, and I don't really know why that is. We'll yap a bit, and if it's not back up in like the next 5 to 10 minutes, I guess it's a Spoonicraft stream today. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I've sent a message. Ah, Iylo, excellent, you're here. I figured it's probably not on purpose, because I think you usually tell us when the server's going down. But that's alright. That's what this chatting screen is for. So how is everyone doing? My stream notification woke Iylo up. I'm so sorry. I tend to stream. I find it like I think it works better for everybody when I stream later in the day. It's just unfortunate I have something later in the day today. New divination, very interesting though. Is UHC Lineages down right now? Yeah, let's get a down detector page. Oh, we'll hit refresh. This is great actually, because I was really dreading working on that skull, so, you know, the universe just said, here you go, you don't have to. I'll have some of the water that I went to go get downstairs. It's coming back up. Okay, perfect. When I went downstairs, I'll tell you an anecdote while we wait for it to come back. So I've known this for a little bit, because I've been spotting them the last couple of days, but we have ants. And I have yet to have time to go out and buy ant traps, and also my partner is away this weekend, so I can't get her to do it either. Also don't know the closest store that sells them. I'll figure it out at some point, but currently my solution is just like flooding the floor with Lysol, basically. Alright, Iylo says try now. I've hit refresh. We'll give it a second. chili powder can block them. The issue is I don't know where they're coming in. I know the general area of the kitchen floor that they've kind of like invaded, so I just kind of sprayed that, and they seemed to hate it, so that's reassuring. I'd like to get a trap still, though, because I want to get one of the ones that, like, they go in and then they take it back to, like, the colony, because then you know that they're not coming back. Alright, things are online. Yippee! Alright, let's get this party started. It's waning outside. Is it nighttime? No. Okay. Hello everyone! I'm back on UHC Lineages. Today's divination. In this world, nothing comes without its cost. This one kind of reminds me of the heart one, not gonna lie, because I was like, yeah, this sounds like a generic, just sort of vaguely mystical thing, but the heart one turned out to be, like, it turned out to mean something. So I'm gonna write this one down. In this world, nothing comes without its cost. There we go. So we have 2 to figure out now. Got a bit of a backlog, I guess. Hello, Rothanis. Welcome in. Chaos saying chili powder is good temporary fix till ant traps are required. That's fair. We probably have chili powder because Ceres loves spicy things, but I don't know where it is. I'll have to check. Oh, we have more signs! That's delightful. I know that I am capable of putting signs on things. I just don't. Wither says, I wonder if the cost has to do with the scales of fate. Oh, so like they might be related? That's interesting. Chaos is anxiously awaiting the arrival of their new 27-inch monitor to connect to their new laptop. Ooh. That sounds really cool. I don't know how big my monitor is because I bought it secondhand. Back when I was a live-in, I was moved to a different house than I had started at because one of their live-ins was leaving. And he was, like, flying somewhere. He was going, I don't know, he was going far and couldn't bring everything on the plane. So he was just like, I'll buy a new setup. Like, I'll bring my laptop and I'll just buy a new everything else when I get where I'm going. But then he was trying to get rid of all his stuff. So for, like, 200 Canadian, I got a desk, a chair, a footrest, the big monitor that I have, laptop holder, speakers, webcam. I actually gave the speakers and webcam to my friend because they just happened to need those to complete their setup. I already had some. And I feel like, oh, and a keyboard. Like, honestly, the monitor on its own, like, I wouldn't have paid for just the monitor secondhand. I would not have paid $200, but that was like the big ticket item for me because at that point I was still playing on a laptop. So it made it feel like I had a big boy computer like I have now. All right, I'm in my sit. I should probably actually be in my sit over here because I think today we actually have to work on the skull. I think a Wither Dad is not logging on. Oh yeah, the green dye. I should go pop that in a chest. I should go check on the cactus also. I should do a lot of things. There's so many things to do. Maybe we don't even need to work on the skull today. Ooh, we have flowers. I know these break so many farms, but they're so pretty. Can you just pick them up or do you need... Hang on. Oh, you can just pick them up. Ah, but they break. Right, okay. So mining these is actually a little difficult because you gotta pick them up so that they don't break on the thing. Forgot that was a mechanic. Anyways, we've got cactus. We've got cactus for days. The flowers don't break cactus farms? Someone told me they did. Ah! Should be more careful. It's fine. I didn't take any hearts, that's what matters. There we go, I got a flower. Okay, there we go. Very dangerous farm. I should maybe automate that one. I considered it in the addition. Okay, that's cool. I swear I heard somebody say that they break farms. We have so much cactus now. I'm not gonna smelt up all of it. Let me grab some, like, I'll grab a piece of coal. We got enough. We can smelt 8 of them. And then... there we go. We'll smelt up 8, and then we can also make a lime green dye, so we can have, like, we can have both. Do these go in here? Does that work? Oh yeah, I left stuff in here for, XP. Here, we'll use this one. There we go. Maximum efficiency! Wither Dad cannot join today, housework calls. Yeah, I should be doing the laundry. I straight up didn't even have time to start it before I got on stream today. I had a bit of a late night last night. There's a server that I'm on, like, occasionally, just sort of casually, and they seem to have become convinced that I'm, like, some kind of villager guru, which I think is a little bit funny. So they wanted me to help with, curing villagers and stuff, and we ended up being up a little bit late, so I slept in this morning, and yeah, my housework is just, it'll get done sometime, I'm sure, between streaming this morning, streaming tomorrow morning, the thing I have this evening, and I think I'm picking up a shift tomorrow evening. It's fine, it'll happen sometime. Iylo says, do the flowers not clog up furnaces? Chaos says, if you build a passive cactus farm as typical, the flowers can't grow because the block next to the cactus that auto breaks the growth. Okay. Chaos is suggesting sending the call of housework to voicemail. That could be fun. Now we have a flower. That's organic. But yeah, we'll grab some green dye. There we go. And we'll bring that over to the candles. Yeah, make it a future Wither's problem, just like I'm making my laundry a future Aspen's problem. Spawn is this way. I was going to the village. Oh my gosh, everybody's gonna pass by the skull then when they're coming from spawn. Maybe I could make it facing forward then. I could have it facing just directly to the path. That would make it easier, because then I'm not building on a diagonal like a madman. And then, is it this way? There's another split in the path. I think it's this one. I'm so good at navigating on this server specifically. Meeper says Chaos is clocking in for his job as shoulder demon. Iylo says, I imagine a Wither mom would make it a present Wither's problem. Alas. See, my partner's away for the weekend, so I can get away with things. So there's our candles, and then there's our dye. And lime green dye. How do you make the lime green dye? Is that like green and white dye? I imagine it's easy, right? It should be easy. How do you make that? Okay, yeah, with white. Okay, so if people decide they want that, they can make it. That should not be difficult, because white dye is fairly easy to come by. Alright. Cactus stuff is done. I honestly don't even need levels right now, so like the cow pit can kind of just sit. Other color spot in the chest is for cyan. Yeah, that one's also not too hard to make, right? Because that's like, it's one of the blue dyes and the green dye, and we do have blue dyes. I'll leave that for the people who want to sort that out. Wither Dad prefers to be alone to do housework, and Wither Mom returns in a few hours. He's currently future Wither dealing with yesterday Wither's work. Okay. I guess we have to work on the skull. Things I probably don't need in my inventory right now. Is there a bed out there? I think I stole this bed from the village. No, there is not. Okay, that's my bed. I don't need logs right now. I know it says armor and weapons, but I've kind of just been using this as kind of where I dump all of my stuff. Yeah, seems like a correct amount of things. Probably even, yeah, I think it's enough dirt. Okay, I guess it's skull time. Whoa! There's a tower being plotted here. Okay, so I think if this is the path from spawn, I mean, I know we don't travel it, like, a lot on our day-to-day, but, like, this is probably where a lot of people are going to, like, have their introduction to the server, which means that the skull facing the house, I mean, people will see it the most from there, but they'll also, I feel like, you know, it's a good reminder as they're entering, you know, death is always looming. Would love to sleep, that'd be pretty cool. Hydration break. I'm drinking water today. Is everybody proud of me? Last night, the group I was playing with was getting on my case about electrolytes, and they're probably right. It's all about presentation. That's right, Iylo. Plenty of time to sleep after you die. Yeah, but I gotta finish the skull first. Hydrate or dihydrate, exactly. Okay. So we're working on the front here. So first of all, yeah, I think it needs to be bigger is kind of problem number one. And also skulls are kind of like larger on the top. So I think we need to bring it out a little bit more. It's time for shape again. Everybody's favorite segment, Shapes with Aspen. I wonder, I should maybe get free cam. I never had free cam until Spoonicraft. I really miss free cam. Can I, like, see the vibes of this if I just go into F5? Okay. Yeah, I can sort of see the vibes that are happening here. Hmm. Skull. I'm rotating a skull in my mind. Why does this side feel more out than this side? I don't think that's true. Yeah, it's the same amount of out. Why does one feel more out than the other? What's going on there? Is it because this doesn't match up? I think that might be why. There, that's... Okay. Skull shape. I think it maybe actually needs to be sort of steeper on these edges here. Maybe? Something like that? Oh, jeez. Nearly gave myself a heart attack there. Okay, and this is my pillar down. Yeah, okay, that's actually looking rounder already. I think this is a notable improvement. It does have a bit of blocks in the way on this side though. I'm gonna run around to the other side just to check. Whee! Yeah, that's a good shape. What the heck, past Aspen? Why weren't you able to get this kind of round before? Messing around for 3 hours trying to get good shape? Here's good shape. This is good shape. Let's see if we can make a skull with this. Now we got a shape on the other side of things too. Let's see if shape is good from this side. It's probably not, because it's the old shape. And I gotta make it into the new shape. Yeah, that's not a skull shape. I'm gonna do the back part like I've done the upper stuff, and I'm not gonna mess with the front because I'm gonna be messing with the front a bunch anyway. Because that's gonna be where, like, the mouth and everything is. Alright, back up we go. Meepers approvingly says orbular. Okay, so we add one there, and 2 there, and then just like a 1 there, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the shape. Give the skull the gamer headset dip. Then it won't be orbular. Yeah, it's like close enough. We'll worry about the back later. I might even like extend it a little bit. Just cuz like that is how skull is shape, is like, oh, I can't do a demonstration on a small scale. It sticks out at the back. Alright, face. Face of skull. I think I'm just gonna completely remove this. We're gonna figure that out later. Alright, so eyes are generally found kind of in the middle. People think of them as near the top. They're actually near the middle. Because we kind of just ignore how much up there is of like forehead and hair. So if we do like a brow kind of up here, that might be a bit high, but I'd rather it be too high than too low. Most of it is forehead, nods sagely. Thank you, Iylo. Yeah, I think the sockets will be sort of like here-ish. Like, they're not gonna look like that, but that's kind of like the general vicinity. And then there is a nose hole. And we can go in with like stairs and slabs and all kinds of like little blocks to make this a better shape. The nose hole is vaguely shaped like this. See, that's got a skull vibe to it. Vaguely. Is it off center? Did I do it off center? I did. It's this one. This one's off center. There we go. Yeah, so there's like a face in there. Chaos says, Aspen, I'm not a builder score, does organic build live on the stream. Well, listen, I don't know until I try. When I say I'm not a builder, I just mean like I think I lack the like builder instincts. I'm developing them. But like just knowing like, oh, I can use this block for this thing and just like having that as an instinct, like I still got to think about it. I'm getting better for sure. I still don't really build in creative, but like I used to not do it because I would just get choice paralysis over how many blocks there were to use. Like I didn't know how to decide what to use, and there were too many options. I find it easier to learn in survival where I just work with what's available to me, and that like slowly allows me to discover what works and what does not. Also, as I've said, I don't worry too much about doing things live on stream because I know that I'm learning. I'm not coming into this expecting it to be good, and I'm not. So like this is you're like coming along on my learning process with me rather than me being like, here's how to build a skull. We're just gonna learn how to build a skull together. Developing them just like every other builder. That's true and fair. I think, like, here's the thing. I think I can make good builds. I think it just takes me longer than, like, I guess, like, a professional Minecraft builder is maybe that's the standard I'm holding myself to, is just the people I see in YouTube videos. And I mean, like, I do have artist instincts, if nothing else. Which I do think helps to some degree, like knowing where eye sockets sit on the face. Things like that. These ones actually almost feel too close together right now. But I'm worried that they're gonna be too far apart if I do that. I think this might be a stairs situation, where when I'm building this proper, I'll put stairs here, and so it'll have like a little bit of shape that sort of dips in and brings them closer, but it's not too close. This looks notably less intimidating. Yeah, says, well, maybe if you spend 8 hours a day building, you too could build like them. This is true. Well, this is part of that, you know? And I have, like, some amount of confidence doing organics, because, like, the first time I ever did an organic was, like, the Skiz Giraffe video. I don't know how many of you are familiar with it, but, I think it's one of the videos that I'm most proud of on my channel. I think my favorite video to date is still, Frankenstory, but Skiz Giraffe is a close second. And, it's like 2 minutes long. So, if you wanna, go check it out. I basically just, if any of you have watched Guess the Build, Skiz built a horrible giraffe and everybody mocked him for it a bunch, and, I sort of just basically was like, okay, so what went wrong here, and why didn't it work, and could it work if a few things were different? And that's basically the video. And I honestly wasn't even planning to make it into a video originally. I just had replay on in the background, and I just, like, built it, no commentary. I just added in the commentary later. Because I just wanted to see if I could do it. But that's my very first organic, and I did freehand that in about 2 hours. So not to say I'm like some kind of protege, but I clearly have at least some amount of the necessary instincts. And it was a fun video. It's probably the fastest video I've ever put together. Just export the replay, pop in a overlay, or a voiceover, and that was basically it. Is skull? Question mark? I keep seeing this as the mouth. I think I might have to do some stairs and slabs and stuff. There we go. I'll do some stairs and slabs to, like, fix that up. And we'll have to do something for teeth here. And I think we'll have to bring this hill back quite a bit for this to actually look properly like a skull. And I think we'll need a bit more, like, rounding it out. Because a skull is not flat like that. But we've got at least the basic vibes. We've got the cheekbones, we've got the nose, we've got where the mouth is going to be. So I think from here, we can kind of, yeah, shape it out. I'm looking at this and I'm surprised that I'm seeing a skull. I definitely want to shape up the top. Witherdad's fastest videos end up being the best too. Yeah, when inspiration strikes, things go well. Yeah, people know when, you know, when you've really been inspired. And it's fun to watch those, like, ideas that just kind of come in the moment. If only I could have those every single day. I mean, I do have ideas every single day. I'm just also really busy most of the time. So I think this is going to look too blocky, but I'm gonna test it and see. Which way did I come up? U. Yeah, there definitely needs to be more forward before it just starts going back. Yeah, stairs and slabs will definitely help. I'll hollow this out later. Just trying to figure out what shape works. I need to unflatten the face. Dirt slabs and stairs when, Mojang. Real. I feel like there'd be a mechanic, though, that if you leave them outside and it rains, they, like, get washed away. Where is my way down? This one. Oh, that actually works surprisingly well. What the heck? This looks like a skull! Huh? That's actually... I'm genuinely amazed. Okay, I think it needs another thing up here. Meepers. It's papyrus. Chaos says GG got back from getting some blueberries just in time. Oh, I love blueberries. Excellent snack. Let's see if I bring this forward, is that anything? I'm not a huge fan of the fact that these are all the same width, but I think it kind of works. There we go. Yeah, I think actually, I think I could afford to bring it out on the sides a little bit more. It's rather narrow right now. Hello, Twist. Asbestos? No. Why asbestos? Iylo's blueberry coffee. Ooh, I haven't heard of that before. Yeah, Twist, we're working on a skull, and I'm, experiencing surprise that it actually looks like a skull. Meepers staring at the ice buns they got on a shopping trip from across the room and trying to gather the energy to leave their bed. You can do it! For the iced buns, you gotta! Okay, I think we were gonna expand it out. It needs to be more out, but how do we do this? Because I like the front shape. I feel like expanding it out on the front will look strange, perhaps? We'll give it a try. No. There. Alright, we'll see if that's anything. There's a company Iylo likes buying from that does D&D inspired coffee flavors. This one is Druid, which is blueberry and honey. Oh, that's cool. Chaos says just force levitate them to you. Of course, of course. Twist says I do sometimes try to get myself to move by imagining telekinesis or a grapple gun like Batman. That's fun. Tuesday missed 40 minutes of stream. This is the worst news ever. It's okay. We've just been working on the skull. Which actually is a bit of a surprise. Now I feel like... The pillar I used to get up is kind of throwing me off. I need to take that down before I can make an accurate assessment. Also, while we do a staring break, I'm going to have a little snack break while we stare and we ponder. Everybody ready to ponder? Pondering time. Good morning, Al, instead of all. Weird Al Yankovic? Where? Tuesday's got their orbs ready? Excellent. I used to listen to Weird Al so much as a kid. Like, I knew his versions of songs better than the actual songs. Alright. So, current assessment of the skull. Definitely too square on top, however, the size is good. I think maybe I'm gonna take out the dirt that's kind of behind the eyes right now. It's gonna make the eyes look worse for now. But, I think they look too small right now, and they're not small. It just is the dirt behind them that's sort of giving that effect. So we definitely need to round it out. Meeper says a trans friend who came out to his parents by saying they can call me Al. Oh, that's delightful. Tuesday listened a lot when they were younger too. Twist grew up in the age of YouTube music parodies. Yeah. I think my most popular post on Tumblr is, Kids Bop wants what Minecraft parodies have. Chaos grew up in the age before microcomputers were common. Tuesday thinks they've seen that post. It's quite possible. It did actually have some decent reach. Yeah, Meepers is right. Kids Bop could never. Yeah, most of the things that I... Aspen Core of Tumblr fame unlocked. Listen, I'm good. I'm not quite already, but I will in a few months quite likely be Aspen's score of Tumblr fame, or at least of DashCon fame. I should probably do more, like, actual, like, posts like that on my blog, because I do have many Tumblr-worthy thoughts, but a lot of the things on my blog are like, hey, I posted a video. Nobody's following a Tumblr blog for, like, YouTube updates. I just can't stand any other social media platform. Aspen of DashCon fame pending. Yeah. Alright. I've had a little bit of a snack. I've pondered the orb. I think I'm gonna try and round it by putting more stuff on top rather than shaving down the sides, and we'll see if that helps. Okay, so first things first, did the eyes. Yeah, that opens it up to be a bigger skull. That's good. That's good, good, good. And now we hop up top. Only social media Tuesday uses is a niche one with only a few hundred people. Honestly, ideal experience. The more people there are, the more problems there are. Ebers post on Tumblr like 3 times, the rest is reposting. Well, I mean, yeah, that's like that's the joy of Tumblr is you just share interesting stuff. Here, actually, we can check this. We can check this in this mode. No, we can't. It's not really easy to check that in that mode. I'm reading chat and I go down too far. Chaos never posted on their Tumblr and in fact had to reactivate it to vote on Aspen food during the 24-hour stream. I appreciate you so much for that. Okay, I think the 3 blocks, I think it needs to be wider in the second row. And I just, There are several changes that need to be made. We'll figure them out. Twist never did quite figure out how to enjoy using Tumblr. It's all about following, like, finding blogs that interest you, basically. Once you have, like, a good ecosystem of blogs that you like, the rest kind of, like, takes care of itself, because, like, I mean, you can also follow tags if you want to, and then you'll see, like, posts from particular tags. The thing about Tumblr is that you curate your own experience. And they do have, like, a For You page, I guess. But they're less algorithm-based than most other social media platforms. Oh, this is really good shape, actually. This is actually really good shape. What the heck? Twist didn't have that time for that kind of research. I honestly, go to the search, go to, like, search a tag for a thing that you're interested in, and just scroll through posts until you see something interesting. Click on the blog that posted it, scroll through their blog for a little bit, and see if you like their stuff. Which I know sounds like a lot, but I mean, you're literally, you're still scrolling. You're still seeing posts the entire time. So it's, you know, if you want a site that you get to scroll and see posts, you're still doing that. Meepers likes you can block tags. Yep, that's nice. Tuesday's just waiting for Tumblr to become the next PDF. You know, in my heart, I think it already is. The back pillar is making that nose separation. Yeah, I like that it helps with the visualization. Okay. Now we gotta bring the shape down. Also, let's look at how it looks like from the side right now. You gotta remember that there's gonna be multiple angles. It's so flat. It's so flat. We definitely need to bring that forward. Okay, let's see what we can do about that. Okay. Face shape. I'm literally like touching my face right now to like feel the bones underneath. Yeah, fella needs a brow. I'm just filling this in and seeing what works. Okay, that still looks like a skull. Less identifiably skull-like from the side. I wonder if it will look bad if I just put like a line of blocks down the middle. Because I feel like that gives it... I don't even know if that gives it the needed definition. No, that's bad. We don't do that one. Witherdad says do a face on all sides. That would be ominous for sure. Yeah, Tumblr being the new PDF is something the CEO of Tumblr said once. For context. Twist recommends a reference if I don't have one. I've studied some anatomy basics for drawing. Yeah, I'm trying to do it from my brain, but I may eventually pull up a reference. I did look up a few images. I just googled like Minecraft skull a couple days ago and have been rotating those a little bit. I feel like me personally, I tend like references are definitely useful. Don't get me wrong. I do use them like with when drawing and building and stuff. But with Minecraft, the fact that you can place blocks in the exact same way as somebody else, I like I'll look up inspiration, but for something like this where it's kind of like a very specific thing, I try not to look too carefully at what people have done. Like the stairs and slabs thought comes from I saw a bunch of people using those when they made skulls. But I didn't look too closely at how because I want to like figure it out myself. I feel like I will learn more if I do it that way. Meeper says death sees you wherever you are. Unless you're flying, birds are too mighty for death. Real. Chaos no Internet knows one of the co-founders of Tumblr, Marco Arment, who wrote the original code for Tumblr. Wow. Wither says all sides, top two. I genuinely don't think I could manage shape good if I did that. Because a skull is not a perfectly round object. I think this is good from the front. What's the situation from the sides? It's still a little flat from the sides. I don't quite know what to do about it. Also, just like shape-wise, I think we actually can have something like this. Because, like, it would be a little bit higher up with, like, a jaw and stuff. I think that can be down and have that there. Something like that. I'm trying to work out a jawline, I guess. Tuesday says a skull can be perfectly round, same way a watermelon can be square. Well, I guess. But I don't. That concerns me. Chaos says keep Tuesday away from growing things. Tuesday doesn't even have the patience for regular watermelons, much less square ones. Okay. George says, oh yes, if you grow a child in a sphere. Yeah, the classic technique. I feel like this dude needs more cheekbone, maybe? Like, I feel like the lower part needs to sit a little bit more forward. That doesn't look great from the front, though. Okay, I am looking up what just a normal skull looks like. Not a Minecraft skull, but I am looking up a normal skull. It says that angles the skull up a bit, which is a normal resting angle, but tougher to do with blocks. Yep. Okay, skull is actually pretty flat. But it is a normal resting angle for it to be slightly up. Because the thing is, the bit that makes your nose stick out is cartilage. It's not bone, so it goes away faster than bone. That's why there's just a hole where the nose is. I wonder how I should do the teeth. That's kind of a question I need to figure out. There's definitely ways to do it. I feel like if I'm gonna angle it back, I need to, like, shave back the top bit somewhat. Maybe I'm gonna do the jawline on the other side. So it's symmetrical-ish. I keep adding more to the cheeks and I just keep thinking, oh, kawaii. It's not a kawaii skull. But I'm just like, oh, I've added a little blush. See, I don't know how to manage the, like, where does it go out? Ouch. Skull, skull, skull. Again, this might be something that is solved with stairs and slabs, but I want at least the gist of it. Twist says, fun fact, teeth ain't bone. It's modified scales from our fish era, so it doesn't make blood, but it is part of the skeleton. Huh. See, now I feel like this just looks like I put like a cute little bear nose on it. I'm gonna be real. This is not giving skull from the side. I think I need to have the eye sockets kind of more visible from the side. Yeah, that's nothing. That's nothing. Blocks, pushing back the blocks between the eyes, right under the brown. The brown one, it's all dirt. I didn't mean brow one. That's actually, yeah, that's true. I can also push back. Oh. Now he's got cool sunglasses. That's a good idea. That might be what it needed. Let's check it from the side. Walls will help too for details. Yeah. It's still a bit flat on the front. I think if I make the eyes more visible from the side. I think maybe if we take that out and we widen up the sockets. Let's see if that's anything. Future's so bright, gotta wear shades. Not sure it's super bright for this dude. Although the ghosts do seem to be having a bit of a field day here. I'm not sure that helped. There's just not a distinct shape happening here on the side. Oh yeah, with their dad, I was thinking of shelves for sure. Definitely for the teeth, they could help. And yeah, maybe the brow as well. Meepers has acquired tasty snack! Hooray, Meepers! Oh, the future's so bright, gotta wear shades is a lyric from a song of Chaos's youth. Hmm. I truly don't know what to do about this side angle. Because genuinely skulls are just pretty flat on the front. I think it may be a detail stage type of thing. I don't like to leave it to the detail stage because then I don't know for sure that it is gonna work, but it might have to be a details sort of thing. This is annoying me in my field of view. Now we just gotta do the rest of the skull. I don't like the floating blocks. There we go. I wonder if it looks any good if we open that up as well. It does not. We will not do that. The actual lyric is, "My future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. Band is Timbuk 3. Twist says it's a good band name and it makes me laugh. Also made me laugh. Tuesday says, now draw the rest of the owl. Yup. This is gonna be annoying actually because there's not like super easy access to most of the like sides and back of the skull. Okay, the skull has there's like a little bit of a hole kind of where like the jaw meets up. I actually think that that back part might go too far back, just a teeny bit. Unclear. I think I'm gonna climb on top, do something, and then see if it's any good. It annoys me when I'm not walking at sprinting speed, but then it also annoys me when I constantly hit blocks and go and toggle in and out of sprinting speed. There's no happy medium. Okay. There, that's just so I can get up here. Alright. So at this level, we've got that much, and then... Okay, so there's 2 out of here and 1 out of here. So we got... There's 4 here. And then it goes in. And then this goes out another one? Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah, and then this is 5 across. There. And then that's just 3. That's just 3. And then, yeah, another line of 5 across the front. Nothing going on that side. This one I assume should also be a line of 5, I think. Okay, next level down is one in the corner, and another 5 across. I'll go sleep in just a moment. I keep hitting the block above instead of the one that I'm trying to hit. Okay. Break you, break you, break you. And is it? It's not that one. It's this one. Ooh, bedtime. Snack time. Swish has got to go to 360p, got too many school research tabs open. Oh, I do not miss that. My condolences. Tuesday says back curve of the skull doesn't actually go all the way down. Yeah. The thing is, though, that it's resting on the ground. So, like, it won't align with, like, the teeth, but it is resting on the ground. So I may be attempting... We'll see. I may be attempting to make it angled. I might not, though. Chaos is clearing up the part of the table where they're gonna put the new monitor and found some Panda Express sweet and sour packets. Now I want Panda Express spring rolls. Alright, let's see if this is any good. Yep, that looks round. That's a dome. Now we just gotta figure out the bottom part. No, that one there. There we go. I'm just copying what I did on the other side. Trying to figure out what's actually important. I think it's... There we go. That. And I think I've mirrored what's going on the other side. Let's make sure this looks good from the front. Oh, geez. Tuesday's saying they're on 480p and it's skipping and buffering. Okay, I am looking at my frames and I am seeing that there was recently a drop in frames, kind of randomly. So that's actually probably what it was. But it seems to be good now. Neeper says could always prop it up on the small hill. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Tuesday says, or make a big window at the back. Twist says back door to the mine. Yep. Open the doors of perception. Yeah, it's going smoother. Yeah, I think there was just a random, like, frame drop. Okay, it feels too wide at the base, I think. Let me check that from the side, but I think it's too wide at the base right now. Yeah, I think it could come in a little bit. How much? How much? I think this. Yeah, I think that feels more skull-like. Cass's Twitch was just testing to see who's actively watching. Yeah. Clearly not me. I did not notice my own frames dropping on OBS. See, now it feels too wide at the top. Dang it, it was going so well at the beginning. Yeah, that's too narrow. Sorry. I think that's not bad. I think I'm gonna shave off a bit of the sides, though. À tes souhaits, merci. Merci, Twist. Chaos says, don't die, I have to take the trash out. Okay, I'll do my best. I think we need to round off that corner a little bit. Just by like 2 blocks. Twist says Canadian French jump scare. I forgot that could happen. Ouais, je peux parler en français. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's do that on the other side now. Why do these different? Ah, it's because this is like this. I don't think this is like, this interior stuff that I'm doing is necessarily crucial, but I'm copying it anyways just in case it is. Oh, it's because we take that one in like that. Yeah, and there's just straight up nothing there, so we take out all of that. And then I'm guessing probably all of that too. Okay, what have we got going on here? There's like an L shape in there. Okay, so we take that back one. And then that's sort of like that. So that would be correct. And then 3 and 4. That's 3 there. Just gonna take this out so I can just properly see the sides, I guess. Me first likes the grassy underbite, yeah. We'll get that sorted eventually. And then the next level up, there's 3, 5, and then that sort of thing. There's 3, 5, and need a block up there. There we go. And then it's 1, and then 4 across. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there we go. The sides are roughly identical. Apart from that one block there, but I don't know how crucial that is, so I'm not doing it right now. Alright, yeah, that is shaped like a skull. I would say that that is shaped like a skull. Let's check it from the side. Yeah, that actually does feel kind of shaped like a skull. Huh. Alright. Now let's see what we can do. I don't want it to get too round on the sides now, because that's what we just finished. I think maybe a block out at most. I just don't want it to look too flat on this side either. So, like, where the jaw attaches, it actually kind of goes up a little bit before it comes down and properly attaches. Iylo just looked over, saw the skull. Yeah, okay, here it is from the front. I don't know if you caught that, but there it is from the front. I know you can just be in-game and see this, but Tuesday's gonna second screen this and try to write down some of their world building ideas. Hate procrastinating. Real. Well, I procrastinate a lot, as we are all aware. I'm actually surprised that I'm getting this done. So let's not procrastinate together. I believe in us. I think I'm gonna start by just attaching the top and the bottom, and then I will make it actually look good after that. This is off center, don't worry about it. What are you world building for, Tuesday? I should put some candles in here or mobs will spawn. There we go. I don't need that while I'm building. Apparently Twitch has stories now. Yuck. I mean, I'm assuming you mean stories like Instagram or Snapchat or whatever. Tuesday's working on a second fantasy project. They can make things happen eventually. They'll be making games. But we'll see if they get there. That's cool. That's exciting. Twitch got what about Phasmatobia? Wild. I'm gonna run out of dirt soon. Yeah, see, this is awful. This needs shaping. But at least there's something to work on. It's much better than just staring at a blank slate forever. Yeah, as Meeper says, the skull's not gonna sit directly on the ground. The back of the skull is lifted up a bit. I think it was Meepers who said that. Okay, that's closer to correct. And then we'll carve that in for better roundiness. Thank you, Iylo. I'm glad you're enjoying the skull. I'm genuinely surprised that it's coming along as well as it is. I will sleep as the skull watches over me. Iylo says, my process here is somewhat like actual clay sculpture. Very cool. Thank you. I dabbled in clay once or twice, and by dabbled in, I mean a beach near where I grew up had so much clay. And I would dig it up and bring it home and make sculptures just with, like, the clay. I wouldn't, like, put them in an oven or anything. I would just make sculptures and let them dry. They were so lumpy. But it was fun. It says organics do be sculptural often. Yeah. Oh, there goes my shovel. I guess now I could maybe see if I can grind some levels and get something worthwhile at level 30. Once again, there is straight up a back door that I made, and I'm running around to the front. I can pick up some dirt while I'm here, actually, because I'm starting to run low. There we go. Plenty of dirt now. Alright, what are you gonna offer me? Ooh, I definitely want the efficiency. Alright, break from skull. Oh my gosh, it does look like a skull! What the heck? That's actually kind of crazy to me. I was like, I'm gonna have to go in creative to figure this out. And then I didn't, so I was like, alright, I guess we're just winging it or procrastinating on stream. Nope. Turns out I know what I'm doing, question mark? Wait, hang on. Why do we have such random items? Stone, potato, ink sac, flint. That smells spiff. I may not be able to decipher those ciphers, but we got S, P, I, F, F. Spiff's in the blast furnaces? Huh? Alrighty then. I'm gonna leave that there. Wither Dad, are you seeing this? This is gonna give me so few levels. Hooray, one whole level. Twist says spoonless on Spoonicraft. That sounds dangerous. True. Good thing this isn't Spoonicraft then. Chaos says, I know what I'm doing, question mark? Nope, you know what you're doing, full stop. Alright, I guess I do. Maybe subconsciously. Um, yeah, Withered Dead, Spiff's in the furnaces. I had to take a break because my shovel finally broke, so I made a new one and I checked to see um if there was any good enchants on the shovel, and I can get efficiency 4 if I get up to level 30. So we're doing that now. But I was checking to see if I'd left anything in the blast furnaces for XP, and there's stone, potato, ink sac, and then 2 flint. If you take the first letter of each of those, it spells spiff. I don't know what this means. Whether Death says, what? I did not do that. See, I actually... Oh, are my frames dropping again? This is so annoying. Can my frames steady up, please? Can we chill? I'm waiting for the frames to come back on OBS. Okay, it looks like they're back. Yeah, I actually, Chaos calls shenanigans. Iylo says the ghost's hungry for frames. I guess so. Yeah, with it, I don't think it was you. There's been enough strange happenings. What the heck? Every time I look out there and there's just like straight up a skull. There's just straight up a skull. Level 30. Okay, let's get some things smelting. Actually, I'm gonna have to take some things out of the blast furnaces. Sorry, Spiff. Um. Oh, that's such a good sound. Reaper says put the puzzle in item frames. Ooh, I just don't know if we have enough leather for that. I'm kidding. I know we have so much leather. Honestly, sticks will be the bottleneck there. Raw wood. Let's make some sticks. Boof. There we go. Mop drops. I don't know how many sticks we need. More than that, I'm sure. Yeah, that straight up makes one. Okay, we need 8 sticks per frame. We need 24 sticks. That makes 3 item frame. We need 1 more. There we go. We'll put these ones here, like in Purtle. There we go. Wither Dad was on solo yesterday for a few minutes and didn't notice anything strange. Also didn't go in the Stromp. Maybe that's why the ghosts were so active, is because we were in the Stromp and it, like, riled them up. Oh, Wither Dad has item frames in the chest over by the basement stairs. That's okay. We have leather to spare. Math is a tool. Chaos says, apropos of nothing, fox in Irish is Sianak, which is, or Shianak, which is also the potential origin of shenanigans. Am I being blamed for this? I stream every second I'm on this server. You would know if I did something. Twist says the hidden crafting ingredient of item frames is the frames part. Stream frames. Real. Okay, let's put things back. I'm gonna harvest some kelp, then I'm gonna deal with the cows. Mob drops, wood product, raw wood. What was here? I think it was empty actually. Oops, sun is setting. Yeah, says, no, I just thought that was interesting. You say that, I feel like you say that the way that, like, GLaDOS shares, facts that she just found interesting. For no reason in particular. Oh yeah, and I have respiration now. I can probably harvest all this kelp without even needing to come up for air. No, stop going into swim mode. I have my toggle sprint on. Stop it! I straight up didn't even toggle it that time. So I press forward and then it just automatically sprints me forward. But then I get annoyed that when I'm just walking underwater, I get annoyed that I'm not walking fast enough. Even though I have Depth Strider. And then I end up harvesting the bottom one. This is truly the worst thing that could ever happen to me. Okay, stop being in swim mode. Just... Okay, there we go. I think I'm like, because I'm like inching forward, if I'm double tapping W too much, that's what it's detecting as the sprint now. Not my toggle sprint button. I straight up can, very casually and without any panic, harvest the entire kelp without coming up for air. I love respiration. Shout out to Swampy. I'm sorry that the stream is deciding to be mean to you all. I don't know why. Like, at this point, it's not my computer. I fixed that problem. My internet is just weird sometimes. Maybe someday I will get a 50-foot Ethernet cable and run it up the stairs and across the hall and we'll trip over it all the time. But I'll have stable internet, except when we trip over it. Aspen too many W's score. Waspwin. We stay winning. So many W's. It makes such a, like, cozy, warm sound. I love the sound of the furnace. There we go. Toasty. Toasty, toasty. Alright, and then I can collect all of this. There, that makes it go up so much faster. And then we'll just grab these. Oh, that's satisfying. It works out to the perfect amount. That's really satisfying. Right, so we're running out of things. We're running out of space. Okay, while we let all of that smelt, I'm gonna harvest up the crops. Well, actually, we can breed the cows, harvest the crops, and then breed the cows again. It's time for everybody's favorite segment! Oh, we actually are running low on wheat. We should maybe have been harvesting the crops more regularly. Oopsies. Iylo has 60-foot Ethernet cable that is, hang on, reading chat and breeding cow. Hanging from the ceiling by hooks designed for, like, fairy lights. See, it would, if we did it on the ceiling, it would need to be even longer. Because the internet is downstairs and I'm upstairs. Iylo is now imagining a wasp version of Aspen. Where it says you can turn off double tap W to sprint in the latest versions. Took like 20 minutes to get used to not double tap. See, the thing is, I think I am too used to it, and I think it would drive me nuts that I can't. But who knows? Brains are shockingly adaptable. Everyone is chanting for the cow pit. Alright, well, I gotta go harvest, and then we'll do more cow pit. There's like some foundations coming up. This is exciting. Soon I'm gonna have to start thinking about the actual blocks that I'm gonna make the skull out of. I was thinking about, I think it was Chaos who pointed out that, like, so the reason that blue terracotta looks purple is because terracotta is just, like, kind of red by default, so red plus blue equal purple. This makes sense. Now, my, like, you know, fox attributes, etc., I generally am, like, red vibes, but if my, like, magic is blue, because I'm the blue lineage, then I feel like it would actually come out kind of purplish. And I also feel like purple, people often associate purple, especially like a dark purple, with, like, necromancy and stuff. So that, I feel like purple and blue is probably a good vibe for the skull. Like, I might actually end up using some of that terracotta. But we also need something that we can, like, do stairs and slabs with, because if I am planning to do that detail work, that is kind of a requirement. How long have we had glowberries there? Am I that unobservant? Iylo says bone blocks are an obvious choice, but nether. Meeper says, or a bone meal farm. Witherdad is 100% up for a nether trip. We are gonna have to go to the nether at some point. I do accept that. However, I think if I'm going for, like, blue and purple, we don't necessarily need... Hi, Harold! You're just, like, right there. I don't think I necessarily need the bone blocks. I'm envisioning kind of like a crystal skull type deal. I know this is supposed to look like someone who's just died, and we're gonna have like the XP floating around, but it's for the vibes, okay? Meepers is suggesting pale oak. Twist says if a purplish vibe, crimson stairs. Oh, that's true. There's the Crimson Woods. Okay, well, there you go. There's your nether trip, is that I think actually the nether woods might be a decent fit. I know they're not actually wood. You don't have to it's stuff, but yeah. Warped as well because of the blue. Exactly, Iylo. Oh, my frames are dropping again. I seem to be back, but I saw them dropping. The ghosts are after me. Let's see how much bone meal do we have? So little. Alright, cows part 2. Maybe we sleep first, then cows. And it's time for another snack break. You know those little, like, Nutella and Go things where it's, like, little breadsticks or whatever? They're not really bread. Little crunchy sticks. They call it a breadstick on the package. And you can dip it in Nutella. Sirius brought one of those home for me the other day. And I've been saving it for a day where I just need to have, like, a quick little snack. So that's my breakfast. Alice says, if you really want to up bone meal production in the composter, you should put leaves in. But most of the leaves we're getting, we need to turn into apples. Twist says, palm tree material is called wood, even though it's not got classic tree features, so that's fine. Oh, that's cool, I didn't know that. Twisted pretzel sticks and Nutella. I've never been a huge fan of pretzels. There's a sheep in here. There is a sheep in here. In the cow pit. It's okay. It can stay, I guess. Just says pretzel sticks, mini pretzels are like actual ones. I've never had an actual pretzel, so actually, I can't say for sure if I truly like pretzels. What I have known as pretzels is the, like, not the sort of baked good, but rather the, like, just the little, like, hard, crunchy sticks. I didn't really like those. Iylo says brown sheep trying to blend in. Wither Dad tried to keep the sheep out the other day, but it insisted. Ah, well. Literally nobody wants this last one. There we go. Meeper says ambassador. Okay, and now it's time to die. This is gonna be slightly slower than it was before because now my axe has mending on it, which means that as it takes damage from being used, it's gonna heal itself a bit with the XP that would otherwise go to my XP bar, but that's fine. A small price to pay for having a well-enchanted axe that I can keep. I guess I could also use an axe that doesn't have mending on it. Maybe I will do that, actually. Iylo loves pretzels, not a big fan of Nutella. It's weird because loves hazelnut. Huh, see, I don't really like nuts in general, but I do like Nutella. I like sweet things. Where is our iron? Do we not have, like, any iron? Okay, no, we do have iron. Okay, I'm just gonna make an iron axe. There we go. It says pretzel's good, kind of like a burger bun, but sweeter and more roasted. Okay, yeah, I'd give that a try. The, like, big pretzels, the actual pretzels, just makes me think of, Markiplier Makes. I don't know if anybody knows that, but it's a series of videos he did probably a longer while ago than I really want to think about, with a couple of his friends, and they would, like, try to make things, but they wouldn't be able to, like, look at a recipe or instructions or whatever, and then they would just compare at the end, how they did. And I guess, conclusion of that statement, they did pretzels one time. And that's actually why I know that pretzels isn't just the little ones. Is because I saw them make the big ones, so I was like, oh, this is what pretzels is supposed to be. Nobody told me that. Iylo says, new enchantment, Bane of Bovines. Beeper's never been a huge fan of nuts in general, so tend to get supermarket own brand instead. Chaos is still on about putting looting on an axe. It could be useful, not particularly for the purpose that I'm using this for, which is XP. How are we doing? How many are there of you in here? That's gotta be more than a stack still, I think. Especially when all the babies grow up. Withered Dad made a lot of iron for compasses. Or made a lot of compasses with the iron. Okay. I mean, that's alright. You're doing your map project. We can go caving again. We did pretty well at that. We can go caving sometime. Truly, now that we have the Fortune 3 pick, I am not pressed about getting ores and stuff. I mean, I can even go branch mining again. We didn't get a lot of iron out of that because I just went right down to the bottom, but like that worked really well and was generally not too dangerous. I could just go to the level that iron is generally at and branch mine there instead. What level is iron generally at these days, by the way? There's so much space in here. That's still probably more than a stack of cows, I think. Iylo says, Aspen score, first of his line, Necrochanter, Bane of Bovines. Twitch is working on architecture homework for Strasbourg right now, which is Alsace? I don't know. The prime pretzel province. Okay. Withered says, pretzels have an interesting history, being used by the church to represent the Trinity and used in old wedding traditions as tying of the knot. Well, that's really cool. In Markiplier Makes, they just invent the history of whatever they're making on the spot. So I didn't learn anything about pretzels and their actual history from that video. That's pretty cool. When Wither Mom and Wither Dad got married, they tied the knot with a pretzel, which then baked and still sits in their freezer. Someday he wants to cast it in resin. That's cool. I like all the different traditions that people have. Iylo says y equals 16 or y equals 232. Alright, so we'll go to y equals 16 for iron. Okay, Alsace. Okay. Technically, Y232 has much higher chance to generate iron, but finding terrain that goes that high, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, let me just get in my, mining airship and we'll go find some iron. Alright. I wonder... Do you think it's been long enough? Are they ready? Oh yeah, I guess we do have Herald. However, unfortunately, I don't think we're just gonna find some iron floating in the sky. Chaos says apparently foods can still rot even when cast in resin. Well, I hope you find a way to cast your pretzel in resin that prevents rot, if it's possible. Go on, somebody. There we go. Alright, time to go to bed. I know the door's open, it's fine though, I'm sleeping through the night, nothing can get me. I do not know the lore that's being talked about in chat right now. Evan and Caitlin moment, which connects to Imp and Skiz, so Hermitcraft baby. And something about a pumpkin. Ah, brown mushroom got in. Oh no. Oh, the ores are so good. Actually, we might be able to finish this up just with the rest of the smelted stuff, maybe. If the kelp is kind and generous. Ooh, we might just be like a tiny bit short. Yeah, we're just gonna be a little bit short. Oh, it's alright. We can smelt up some beef, actually. I know technically, like, I can just put a full stack in there, and, like, the fact that I've limited the, like, smelting thing, it's not gonna smelt more than is there, but then there's gonna be some just, like, sitting there. And that'll be annoying to me. Iylo says, someone tried to cast a jack-o'-lantern in resin and it rotted inside the box of resin and looked awful. Oh no. Or just a carved pumpkin because no light. Okay. And apparently it was Caitlin specifically. The twist is they've tried cooking it, drying it, draining it, nothing has worked yet. Iylo says, don't leave uncooked raw beef just sitting in your smoker, that's insanitary. Exactly, leave it sitting in a chest with a bunch of other items. That's much better. I've had to take food safety training so many times. Not because they're like, you're bad at it, you have to train again, but because my old summer job, every year that I was hired, I was technically a new hire, and so I had to retake all the training, and it sucked. I also says they tried putting the pumpkin in a barrel in Minecraft. Seems to be very rot proof. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good strat. There we go. Level 30. And then I'll just leave the rest of that in there. Oof. Oh, I got fortune. Okay, this might be worth amending. It's gonna be so annoying for gravel though. Unless I really want flint. Why am I going out this door? We straight up have a door that takes me the way that I want to go. Wither says, name it Flint Maker. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, says, I think what they need is a way to fossilize it. Well, good luck to them with that. Alright. So now I have to remember what I was doing. I think I'm gonna take off that back part. I think that brings it back just a little bit too far. I'm just gonna bring it in one. Oh, it's so fast! It's so fast! Yay! Yeah, that feels like the correct shape for a skull. Oh gosh. Now I have to get used to holding the button down way less, though. Oops. This is gonna be great for terraforming and terrible for precision work, which is kind of what I'm doing. I might have to make another shovel. I think if I just, like, take those out, then that helps round it out a bit. It says last year they burned it, so that might have worked well. Have to see. Closest to fossilized without actually replacing it with rock. Yeah, high efficiency shovels are not good for precision work. Maybe I should have just taken the level 1 enchant. It's fine. It'll be great for terraforming. Wither has to head off. Good luck, don't die. You know it. I will be doing my best. Now I'm very pondering. I think actually having it sit at least a little bit on the ground is probably good. Maybe like that. No. I should make a bridge. I do so much running back and forth to this side. I also surprised hardcore ultra hardcoreers haven't developed a replacement phrase for don't die, like break a leg or keep the rubber side down. Is that about cars? Twist says maybe mark the ground difference with moss. Not a bad idea. Oh, it's about bicycles. Got it. I think this is not bad. Not a huge fan of it from this angle now. Because you can kind of see how flat both sides are. It's not the worst, though. It's what San Francisco bicycle messengers said to each other instead of say safe. Fair enough, yeah. Twist says, don't rip bozo, don't get filzed. Well, see, the thing is, I feel like a phrase has to come from something, and the only things thus far within this world that have happened relating to don't die is, I guess, don't fail your water bucket clutches, or, I don't know, don't pull a spiff, don't go looking for string. And that feels a little mean. Iylo says, "Don't pull a spiff" is even more wild. Well, that was my first thought when people said we should have a phrase. But yeah, it is kind of wild. That feels like maybe a mean thing to say. And Tuesday says, "Deal with the flatness with the smaller block details." Yeah, that's the hope. I'm trying to decide if it needs like a little bit more blocks underneath there or like a little bit less blocks over top there. Ah! I was staring too much at the skull. It's fine. We have so many oxide daisies right now. Iylo says, "Don't get spiffed." What do we think? Does it need more blocks on the side or like fewer blocks? Twist is being general, also not knowing the lore, but that seems like the equivalent, yeah. Beaver says, beware the mobs. Twist says, don't let the bad mobs bite. Fair enough. Chaos says, keep it mob-proofed. Iylo says, watch out for fall damage. Yeah. That's not a bad one. Twist said, okay, I was looking to see if it was hardcore, but I thought not, because didn't consider regen. Used to watching Naked and Scared. Also low res, can't do the heart pattern. Yeah, this is ultra hardcore. So I mean, I have beef so that I can still like sprint around and stuff. I don't lose hunger, but I can only regen with the regeneration effect. Alice honestly feel like Naked and Afraid might be harder than UHC. What's their premise? I assume you don't get items, which I think I would be dead already. Like I'm just guessing. Does the side of the skull look good? Do we think this is this it? Is this the play? Hardcore, but if you wear armor, you take damage. Jeez. Iylo likes the side of the skull. Here, I'll zoom it in. There. Now we can look at the skull real close. Oh, there's a different one that Twist is talking about. Okay, chat seems to agree. We like the side of the skull. Alright. Twist is talking about the Imp and Skiz. 20 Minecraft days to complete a random task, ultra hardcore, no armor crafting, and sometimes other rules. Naked and Scared as opposed to Naked and Afraid. That I would be scared. I want to see if I can get away with adding just like one more like sort of layer out, I guess. Kind of like that. Iylo says there's a series called Naked and Afraid that has a data pack that makes so you can't wear armor without taking constant damage. Mog Swamp has been the first to die in that series 3 sessions in a row. Poor Mog Swamp. I think the shape could maybe do with a little bit of work, but let's see how it looks from the front. I feel like it needs to go higher if I'm gonna do that. I don't think it's too bad. It's far enough that it, far enough back that it doesn't make it look too wide. I think it just needs to go a little bit higher up. Let's see if that'll be any good. Sort of like that, I guess? I don't know. Hmm. Unsure. Twist says, incredible but deserved. Mog Swamp was on my building team and didn't even show up? What was that for? Iylo says, hence when Spiff died, I said someone was gonna need to be the Mog Swamp eventually. Yeah. I assumed it was reference to something. Iylo says, top layer of dirt might be able to go, but not sure if it would make it too flat on top. And Twist says top's a bit pointy. Yeah. I definitely don't like that square that my crosshair is on. And it looks a little bit flat, the dirt that's just like right below it. So I'm maybe gonna take out like 2 blocks and see if that works. I don't know. We'll see. I'm glad I seem to have a builder mindset today, though, because I do have a building-based event that I am going to, so... I was a little worried I wouldn't be able to throw something together, but I think I will be able to. This is good practice. I think I need to smooth this transition somehow. Because this sticks out too much on its own right now. There's not really a good way to do that now that I'm up here. Ah! Dang it! Okay, I knew that was gonna happen eventually. I'll go eat. I'll hang around with half a heart down, but 2 hearts down is too much. Bakery Creative Server 72-hour hub build event. 400 plus builders on the Brown Jake Kelton team. Huh. Yes, this explains the domestic mushrooms. Is for stew. Ilo says that sure is a lot of words. Yeah, I don't really know what that is, but that's pretty cool. That sounds like a lot of stuff that was happening. I hope you still had fun even if Mog Swamp didn't show up. I don't know if that side thing that I've added really adds anything to it. Like, I don't even think it's really helping with the roundness all that much. Like, maybe a little bit? I don't know. I think when you're not looking directly at it, it's not the worst. I think removing those 2 blocks did help. I don't know how to smooth that transition, though. Like, best I can think of is, Just adding that in. If that doesn't make it look better, I'm gonna stop messing with it. Yeah, that makes it look worse. That makes it too sticky outy on the side now. Maybe says you could name tag one Stu-san. I don't know, what do you think? Is this better or worse, having that thing there? Twist says walls are pains, but also sides ahead are usually real flat. That's true. Sticky outy. Chaos loves builder technical jargon. Yep, that's the technical word for it. Like, honestly, I think the only angle that it helps is this one right here. I think it looks good from that angle. I think it's, like, it's kind of whatever from anything else. It's not bad from the front. Let's check out how the back is looking. Let's look at something different for a while. Honestly, not bad. I actually don't have any complaints about this. I need to finish it. Unlike some builders. I'm not throwing shade. Green, if you see this, I'm not throwing shade. Your builds are really cool. Ah, I messed this up. There we go. Like that. Lego building jargon is quite wacky like that. Snot, studs not on top, burps, big ugly rock pieces, and cheese slopes. I did not know that Lego building had all those terms. Kale says, I think even Green agrees. See, for example, is Season 10. Yeah, but Season 10 he compensated for it. He just built in a way that he didn't have to build the back. The Irish word for jellyfish translates to seal snot? That's wild. Speaking of snot, as we run out of the skull nose. Sneal! Okay, that definitely looks way too flat from this angle. I think there's definitely some shaping I gotta do at the bottom. Gotta figure out how that was shaped. The word for spider translates to savage little ox. Okay. So on this side, okay, so going from the flat, we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. So let's see, do we have that on this side? 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. So we take out all this. And then next up, we have a row of 5. So that's a row of 5, and then there was 2, I think, like that. I think this probably isn't supposed to come as far forward as it does. Yeah, so there was 3 at the front. Then we've got 2, 1, 1, 2. 2, 1, 1, 2, like that? Yeah. And then what was up from that? Ah, that has nothing directly above it. Wait, what? I think that's what's going on there. It's 3 back. This is only 2 back. Did I mess this up? I did. That cheek is farther forward. Okay, now I gotta see which one looks better. Conflicted. I think I actually like the cheek up. Let's see, does that make anything bad on this side? Oh, we gotta take out the block underneath it. But there is a block 1 back. There. That looks correct. I think it just needs maybe a block, either a block up there or a few different options, but first I sleep. Apparently in Mandarin Penguin is business goose? That's delightful. Chat likes the left side more, so like the way I had it originally rather than the way I'm changing it to now. Oh, Twitch says the sun was an eye for a second. That's cool. Aspen's left or the skull's left? Yeah, that's a good question. Like currently I have them so that they're only two back from, or they're only one back from the front. But originally on that side, it was two back. Oh, Tuesday said, yeah, my left, so that would be this side. I just want to see if doing that fixes it. See, I don't think that makes it too bad from this side. It does mean the sockets are less open to this side. And then as we come around, it's sort of like that. So is it, you think this one is good, or do you think the other way around is good? Iylo likes the new way. Okay, we seem to have general agreement for the way I have it now. I will keep it like that then. And I will continue to try and imitate this. I guess I do have the power to just, I can just take a picture with my phone instead of having to constantly run back and forth. There. Now I have a really grainy image that I can go off of. I kind of want to, I want to compare the before and after now, because I wasn't really paying attention to this before. I want to compare the sort of before and after, because I do like the socket sort of being more open. I think it was like that. Apparently Aspen is trembling poplar in French. That wasn't it. I don't remember what it was then. Like that, maybe? At least I have a picture so I can go back to the second way. I do like that you can see more socket on the side. Let's just see how it looks from the front. Welcome to Angsting Over Minutia, the stream. Yeah, I like the open socket. I think I do as well. I'm gonna take another picture and I'm gonna do it this way. Because I think from the side it makes it more distinct as a skull. Alright. Now I have a photo, so I don't have to keep running back and forth. Meeper says, yay, minutia. Oh, but now I have to rotate it in my head. I guess I was doing that anyways, but it's like a little bit more annoying. Okay. So the socket goes 3 back. This is making me think of, I feel like I read a study somewhere that was like, people who've had COVID had a harder time replicating a drawing, like looking at a drawing, like replicating an image while looking at the drawing. But then I think they also like did pretty okay or better at reproducing it later from memory. I've had COVID 3 times, which is why I'm thinking of this. And I'm just hoping that I'm maybe an outlier. Usually says, "Oh, so COVID is why I'm bad at art." Got it. Yeah, you can blame COVID. I don't know. I don't really have any other information. I just feel like I read that somewhere, which is not a great source. Okay, I think that there. That's the correct shape there, and then there's 2 and then 2 down, and then I think that's is it 3 back? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so it should be 1, 2, 3 there. And then 5 and then 3, that is 3. And then 1. And then 1 in between. This should be flat there. That looks like the correct shape. And then we do the same thing on the other side. Oh, that's too close. Let's back it up 1. Tuesday said COVID also made my memory much worse. Neeper said, I wonder if that's just another way of saying brain fog. Chaos says, slightly better than trust me bro as a source. Yeah, that's fair. Tuesday says, made me fatigued all the time. Yeah, that's rough. Long COVID is rough, because I'm pretty sure that's what it would be, right? Is long COVID. I don't know if I actually experience long-term effects or if the brain just be braining, but I don't know. I feel like my processing has slowed down. I don't know if that's true though. 5 and then 6. And then 4 and 2. There we go. That should be a perfect replica of the other side. Tuesday never felt the same after the first time they got COVID is probably long COVID then. That's generally what causes not feeling the same after getting COVID. Okay, this looks skullish, I think, from this side too. I feel like it somehow looks less skullish than it does on the other side. I don't know, maybe something up there? Honestly, I think the back looks fine. It's maybe a little bit square, but overall not too pressed about it. And climb up top, see if they match. Yeah, I'll do that shortly. I think I'm just gonna round out the back just a little bit. Yeah, scaffolding not the worst idea. I think if I just round out those like top two corners, the back will be fine. Hard to tell from up here. Ooh, this isn't the same. This is the same. It's literally just that block, which I think I'm gonna take out. Yep. I think other than that, it's pretty symmetrical. Now I was kind of looking at this a little bit. Can we see it? Super good? Not really. I don't know. I just want to see if maybe if I do like that, if that just makes it look a little bit better. Maybe we do that as well. Where is my pillar? Hashtag my pillar. Okay, we'll check the back first, because that's kind of the simplest thing to deal with. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Just as long as it doesn't look too bad from other angles. Ooh, it kind of juts out a little bit. That might be a details thing. It's not too bad from the side though. I think that's a good shape from here. I do like that we added that stuff on the side. It does round it out nicely. I think that's good. Yeah, that still looks like a skull. I feel like it could come forward a little bit from this side, but I think for the most part it's still pretty good. Let me compare this side to my photo just once more. Yep, that appears to be the correct shapes. I think we did it. I think we did it. We have made skull shape. We'll definitely need to, like, unflatten the face with some details. But for the most part, I am really happy with this and kind of surprised. Neepers honestly can't tell their own brain fog because COVID came around the same time as a lot of life transitions. So you'll never know if that's what set it or all of the stress. Yeah. Could be both. Um, Twist says it's 2050 and had a nap. I'm already getting a wave of the sleepy. My condolences. The bed beckons. Twist says skulls aren't perfectly symmetrical. You can do as you fancy, unless it's one of those sphere children. Twist is already in bed. Heck yeah. Cozy, cozy. Yeah, definitely a skull. Skull achieved. And that works out perfectly because we're just about coming up on when I was kind of planning to wrap up stream anyway, so this is a perfect stopping point. And then I think next time we do a solo stream at least. I think next time Wither Dad's on, I might see if we can go do some caving, get some more iron maybe. But next time we do solo, maybe I'll start working on like the colors for it. But there we go. Yeah, as Meeper said, achievement unlocked. Used your head. I guess I sure did. Yeah, I guess I'll use the last few minutes just tidy up my inventory. But yeah, that is surprising amount of progress. Ooh, I should make sure there's torches in there actually. I do not want unfriendly visitors in the skull. Oh, and we also gotta make the little orbs of like XP and stuff at some point. Okay, we do have some like torches and stuff in here. So is the outside like right out here? No, it's not. So we can carve this back a little bit in some places. I just want to maximize the interior room. Okay, not a whole lot of maximization to be done, but there we go. We've claimed a few more blocks. I suspect a lot of this is not necessary as well. It does make it feel rounder on the inside, I guess, but I'll do that later. I'm gonna Quincy it. You know, I'm gonna just sort of dig it out until you reach the outer layer. I mentioned a Quincy. Do you think D is going to appear in the last 4 minutes of stream? This is too much precision work for me to bother with the lovely, lovely shovel I enchanted. Alright, I think that's it, unless it goes up one more. It does not. Okay, there we go. We've hollowed it out. And there's plenty of torches, but just a few more for good measure. There we go. So we'll figure out how to do like an enchanting situation in here at some point once the skull itself is in. Like the blocks. Neeper says, always fun finishing a build and poking at the walls to see what's thick. Yeah! Just carve it out and make sure it's perfect. We'll dump all that back in the dirt chest. And that's my inventory cleared. So I'm gonna pop back in here where it is nice and safe. Twist says apparently their mom's old friend from another country randomly appeared in a shop at her. At your new place. This is so random. That's wild. Uh, I had a lovely coworker way back when I was a live-in, who unfortunately was only there for a few months before he had to like go elsewhere. Um, like he had to move, so he couldn't stick around. But like he was moving to a different city. And like a year or two later, I was working where like well, I don't work at the day program anymore, but I was at a day program for a little bit, and we decided to go to like I guess basic like yeah, a different city. Like we as part of the day program once a week we would have like social outings. So that it just so happened we were going to a completely different city, not the city this guy moved to. Like he moved many many hours away. This was like maybe an hour away. And we went there to go see like an attraction there. And then we were having lunch at this like random cafe we'd scoped out. And while we were sitting there doing lunch, I hear a voice that I recognize, and I look up, and he's walking into the cafe. And I was like, "What are you doing here? I thought you moved like to a whole other city." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I did. I still live there, but I'm just here for the day to see that attraction." Like, what are the chances that this guy I used to work with, who was probably one of my favorite coworkers, I'll be honest, who moved to a completely different city, I would run into him in a city that neither of us live in, but we both happened to be there one day only to go see the same attraction. And then we also both happened, we didn't even run into each other at the attraction, we ran into each other at a cafe, and not like, you know, the gift shop or whatever. Like, it was, you had to like go into the city to go find this like random cafe. It was wild. I was so happy to see him. Twist sister heard sphere children. That's fun out of context. Chaos is back in the 90s, living in San Francisco, was waiting for the Red Vic to open for the annual sci-fi movie marathon. Spotted a guy from high school in southeastern Virginia coming towards him carrying a suitcase of beer. Attractions attract. I guess that's true, Twist. Anyways, it is 3 o'clock on the dot. We have finished our skull. I have finished my anecdotes. And it's been a good time chatting. I will see you all. Well, I'm planning to stream Spoonicraft tomorrow morning-ish. I think I'm working tomorrow afternoon, evening, so it is going to be a bit of an earlier stream, which I know people don't get to as much, but that's when I can stream. And I want to keep working on Spoonicraft as well as Lineages, so next you'll see me, I will be on Spoonicraft tomorrow morning. As for my next UHC stream, not sure about that. Also just not sure about my schedule in general. I think it might end up being that Spoonicraft is kind of like an earlier half of the week thing, like Sunday to Tuesday type deal. And then UHC is sort of latter half, like Thursday to Saturday type deal, is kind of the general gist of when things will be. But regardless, I will see you all in the next one. We've managed to live yet another day. Have a great time zone, and thanks for joining me while I learned how to build a skull. I'm genuinely so happy with how it turned out. Bye-bye!
I feel like there's gotta be someone who's made some kind of like beat out of the hoe sound. 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 I feel like there's gotta be someone beat out of the hoe sound. Beat out of the hoe sound. Beat out of the hoe sound. There's gotta be someone beat out of the hoe sound. Beat out of the hoe sound. Beat out of the hoe sound. I feel like who's made some kind of like beat